Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in for this very, very brief introduction to my next online course that I'm offering. And I generally say online meditation course, but that's not exactly true, interestingly enough, with this upcoming course that I'm offering. So let me just explain it and proceed to introduce the course. So I have a few slides here that I'm going to talk through. And this course's name is Resilience Training. Resilience Training. The subtitle, Finding Homeostasis and Encouraging Responsiveness. And this course runs from August 17th to October 5th, 2025. It's offered on Sunday evenings only. There's just one section for this course. Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. East Coast time. So please figure out your time zone accordingly. And yeah, some of the tasks that we'll be doing is engaging in projects or practices rather that help us widen our window of tolerance, so we can be indeed more responsive and less reactive in the world. So I'm going to talk through these slides here. Yeah, so first we start, the first couple of sessions will be mapping the nervous system. And I'll be drawing quite heavily on the work of Stephen Porges and Deb Dana. We'll be using the polyvagal map, really focusing on the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve, for those of you who are not familiar, starts at the brain stem and it comes down through the vertebrae, down the spinal column. And it comes out from the spinal column through the lungs and heart, I should say. Goes back into the spinal column, and then it comes out again right around the navel area. And then it travels upward, back through the spinal column, and then comes out through our face and eyes and forehead and so forth, and ears. And it is the part of the nervous system that's responsible for our fight, flight, and freeze responses. So we'll be mapping that out, and the benefit of that is we can start to identify where we are on that map in any given moment of any day. So we can start to recognize, I'm in the green zone right now. I'm feeling calm, I'm feeling connected. I have stories arising in my mind that are stories of possibility, stories of potential, optimism, and so forth. And then we have sympathetic, which is the fight-flight response. And so we'll get to feel what fight-flight feels like without getting triggered or without getting overwhelmed. And we'll do the same with the freeze response. So we'll really get to know these defense mechanisms of the nervous system in a very, very thorough and intimate way. And in that knowing, then we can make wiser choices. The next few sessions of the 8-week course will be focusing on soothing the nervous system. And so again, I'll be drawing quite heavily on polyvagal theory, exercises that have been offered by Deb Dana and Stephen Porges and others. I'll be also drawing from the work of Peter Levine and Ariel Schwartz, and really diving into some somatic experiencing practices. Of course, drawing quite heavily from my training in the Buddhist traditions. We'll be looking at some mindfulness practices, some meditations. I'll also be drawing on the work from Pat Ogden and the sensory motor psychotherapy, and also again from Ariel Schwartz and a few other teachers that I've worked with around bilateral stimulation as well. So havening, and also some EMDR-esque type exercises. EMDR is the process of kind of bringing our awareness left to right. Often it's done with the eyes. Sometimes it can be done orally as well with sound, like that. And then the last few sessions of the course, we are practicing bringing this out into the world. and how we might navigate our experiences with more responsiveness and less reactivity. So just to sort of recap here, again, the title of the course is Resilience Training. This one is an 8-week course rather than 12. Most of my courses are 8 weeks. I'm going to be there live on the call each week. So none of my offerings of this course or any of the courses that I offer feature pre-recorded sessions. Everything is done live. Now that being said, everything will be recorded live so that if you have to miss a session, one session, many sessions, all the sessions, that's fine because it is all recorded and made available roughly 24 to 48 hours after the session. You'll have the video and the recordings as well. When I say recordings as well, I'm referring to maybe podcast recordings of the meditations or exercises that we do. In addition to all of that, one-on-one sessions are also included free with the course. So, the only parameter around that is you would need to have some questions about the course material to come in prepared with for those one-to-ones. The one-to-one sessions are about a half an hour. Of course, guided meditations and practices are included. Also, I really take good care in cultivating a type of community. And if you've been with me in courses before, I've done like Facebook community pages and things like that. I sort of pulled back from that as due to the weight of some of the restrictions that have been put on in America around education these days. I'm going to go ahead with the Facebook page for this course. So there will be more opportunity to connect in that way. Of course, Q&A, there's an abundance of Q&A time in the live sessions. I'm also available for Q&A throughout the course. If you have questions, you can email them over to me. This course in particular is very trauma sensitive. In fact, a lot of the exercises that we'll be exploring are exercises that are designed to very gently help us release some of the tension of trauma that may be residing in the nervous system. So all of my offerings I try to offer within a framework of at least trauma-informed or trauma-sensitive. Here we'll be engaging in practices that are specifically designed to resolve some of that trauma. The fee for the course is on a sliding scale. It runs from 130 on up, and so you can find out more detail about that on my website, www.suchsweetthunder.org. Or if you're ready to go ahead and register, please email me, chrisluard@yahoo.com. So yeah. That's about all I've got to say. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I'll ring the bell to close us out. Thank you.